We are pleased to present the results of the study you requested, asking how big of a threat is Amazon to Target and how can Target fight back? Although Target was named Mobile Retailer of the Year in 2013, Forbes noted that Amazon and Walmart are battling for dominance, and Amazon, as an online retailer, is winning, and that Target and Walmart are falling behind. And the Wall Street Journal noted last year that even after decades of toil, web sales remain small for many retailers, including Target. To start our analysis, we will look at the topic that's on everybody's mind, the recent data breach. We'll then look at how that may have impacted the finances of both Target and Amazon. We'll then look at Amazon's supply chain and compare and contrast that with Target to see if there are any advantages that Target can use. We'll look at the pharmacy aspect of Target sales, and then we will look at ways that Target can fight back. I will now hand over the presentation to Matt to talk about the data breach.
Most people are aware of the data breach that took place during the holiday season of 2013 at Target retail stores. Many may not be aware of what a data breach actually is. A data breach is an incident in which sensitive, protected, or confidential information has potentially been viewed, stolen, or used by an individual unauthorized to do so. Target uses a POS, or point of sale type system. Like most retailers, this is the tool that the hackers used to execute the data breach. Malware was added to the POS system. This malware was able to steal credit card numbers, along with other personal information from customers' magnetic strip on their credit card as it is passed through the card reader. Here we have a timeline of the breach involving the Target Corporation. Between November 27th and December 15th of 2013, Target fell victim to a data breach that exposed what was thought at the time to be 40 million credit and debit card customers to potential fraud. Friday, December the 13th, was the first occasion that something was wrong, as the Target CEO was notified that the federal government was looking into some suspicious activity. It was confirmed on December the 15th that the breach had occurred. By December 18th, news of the breach was publicly reported first by Krebs on Security, an online data and security blog, and the Wall Street Journal reported the same day that the Secret Service was now investigating the breach. On December the 19th, Target publicly admitted that the breach had taken place and that it had affected as many as 40 million customers and was under investigation. At that time, Target told the public that the names, credit card numbers, and addresses had been accessed. Molly Snyder, spokeswoman for Target, says that they have no indication that PIN numbers were accessed and stolen. On December 20th, Target offers its U.S. customers 10% off all in-store purchases during the last weekend of the holiday shopping season. On this same day, J.P. Morgan Chase announced it would limit daily spending and withdrawal amounts for customers that had previously shopped with Target at the time of the breach. These limits would be in effect until customers received their new cards. As of December 22nd, Target store sales are down 4% compared to the previous year. Then on December 23rd, General Counsel Tim Baer of Target hosts a conference call with many state attorney generals from across the U.S. to allay concerns about damages due to the breach. On December 27th, Target admits that PIN information was in fact accessed during the breach, but that these numbers remain safe because they are encrypted. On January the 10th, Target says that an additional 70 million customers had their personal information stolen during the breach, and Target lowers its fourth quarter projections. The 40 million original card numbers stolen, combined with the 70 million data files later found to be stolen, means that overall 110 million customers' personal information has been accessed without authorization. Many have asked if the breach could have been prevented. The reasons are not publicly known, but Target did lose several members of its cybersecurity team in the months prior to the 2013 attack. It is not known if the loss of these members directly led to or contributed to the attack. It is known, however, that at least 2 months prior to the data hack, analysts working for Target's cybersecurity team suggested a thorough review of the security at Target's point-of-sale system. This system was due for an upgrade, and the upgrade was said to create new security vulnerabilities. It is also not publicly known what those vulnerabilities were. Hackers used the credentials of a vendor to access the system. The vendor was Fazio Mechanical Services. That is an HVAC and refrigeration services business. During congressional hearings, Target CFO John Mulligan stated that his company had passed an audit in September of 2013 that certified that they were in compliance with payment industry card standards for protecting card data. It is of note that these same payment card industry, or PCI standards, prohibit having service accounts with static or default passwords, so Target may not have been PCI compliant. This caused Target to learn the hard way that being compliant and being secure are two different things entirely. On March 5, 2014, Chief Information Officer Beth Jacob resigned. Jacob had held this position since 2008. This is the first high-level departure since the data breach in December. This is also the first step for Target in the overhaul of their security structure and turning a weakness into a strength. Target is working with a DC-based consulting firm, Promontory Financial Group, to evaluate all of its security processes, talent, and technology to become a company known for caring about the security of its customers instead of being viewed as a company that is lackadaisical in protecting the private information of its customers. Target hopes to regain the trust of its customers and at the same time turn this environmental threat of data breach into an environmental opportunity by convincing customers that Target cares about the personal information of its customers and will do anything in its power to prevent such a thing from happening again. The hope for Target is that they can convince old customers to come back and lure new customers in by showing them how much they care and the lengths they will go to ensure the safety of customer-protected information. Target's plans for creating this opportunity are to purchase 1 year's worth of free credit monitoring and identity theft protection for all of its customers. The company will also be changing over all of the magnetic strip cards to EMV cards. This stands for EuroPay, MasterCard, and Visa. These cards are also known as chip cards. This chip, seen in the black glove in the picture to the left, encrypts data differently for each transaction, making it far more effective at preventing fraud and harder to duplicate than the magnetic strip type cards. The cost of these cards is roughly 6 to 8 times what a magnetic strip card cost. But the extra expense is something that Target is willing to take a hit on if it enables them to turn the environmental threat of cyber attacks into environmental strength, showing customers that Target is the safest retailer to use their cards with when making purchases.
Thanks, Matt. Will now take us through a financial analysis of Target.
How does Target improve its financial performance in light of obstacles such as Amazon's growing online retail presence and the 2013 data breach announcement? An outside investor might ask, why perform financial analysis, and why analyze Target Corporation in particular? Well, all investors want to make money on their investments, and Target is competing for those investments. Executive management strives to make Target an attractive investment so that Target can continue to expand and grow with those investments. Wall Street sets expectations based on historical performance, market indicators, analysis, as well as Target's earnings guidance. So in short, Target's strategy to meet/exceed shareholder and stakeholder expectations starts with financial analysis. Creating a realistic and directionally correct analysis is critical to Target's future financial visibility and is the basis for management to make financial analysis will drive better investment decisions, which in turn will improve Target's stock price, build trust with Wall Street, as well as put money in the investors' pockets. Target had a very challenging 2013 year. With the December announcement of the mass customer data breach, Target reported very poor Q4 and year-end 2013 results. Target reported their adjusted earnings per share to be $1.30 in Q4, which was down 21% from $1.62 in 2012. The full-year earnings per share was down 8% year over year. The U.S. segment sales decreased 7% to $20.9 billion from $22.4 billion in sales in 2012. With the announcement of the devastating data breach news, Target's leadership has done a great job of calming the masses. The executive team confronted the issue head-on and has a plan in place to regain customer trust. Chairman and CEO Greg Steinhafel comments on why Target is positioned to rebound from the data breach woes. He states, For more than 50 years, Target has succeeded by focusing on our guests. Despite meaningful softened results following our December announcement of a data breach, we will continue to work tirelessly to win back the trust of our customers in the new fiscal year. CFO John Mulligan talks about Target's future and the long-term financial performance. He states, While this has been a challenging year, we are proud of our team's work, and we believe that we have the right plans in place to generate meaningful improved results in 2014. Target Corporation has the financial strength to overcome these near-term impacts, and we will focus on making Target irresistible for our guests both today and over time. We will go profitably for many years to come. John Mulligan, CFO, in the December 2013 earnings release. In this slide, we want to highlight the fact that Target executive management makes decisions that are in the best interest of Target Corporation. They make decisions that result in higher investment returns and a higher stock price. The two major metrics that Target management uses to gauge financial performance are return on invested capital and operating margin. Return on invested capital reflects the returns that Target is seeing on the assets that the company invests in. A higher return on invested capital indicates that management is making sound investment decisions. The other key metric that Target management looks at is operating margin. Operating margin provides insight to how efficient Target is operating its business. In 2013, Target reported an operating margin of 5.8%. 5.8% operating margin, that means that for every $1 generated through Target's operation, almost 6 cents of that $1 went to profit. Although Target's executive management team has not given a clear-cut answer when asked what percentage of total sales is comprised of online buying, analysts believe that online sales account for less than 2% of Target's 2013 revenue of $73.3 billion. That translates to roughly $1.5 billion in the grand scheme of things. Needless to say, Target has a long way to go to compete with Amazon in the online retail segment. In this slide, I want to compare Amazon and Target from a market share perspective. Although the visual aid chart in the top right is not drawn to scale, in the top left is not drawn to scale, the reader can get an idea of where Target and Amazon fall in the big picture of global retail sales. The global retail market is roughly $10.5 trillion according to reportlinker.com. Shown on the chart, you can see that both Amazon and Target occupy approximately the same amount of market share. The companies specialize in different types of retail sales. Amazon specializes in online retail offerings, while Target Corporation specializes in big box brick-and-mortar retail operations. The line chart in the bottom right tells the real story. While Target sales have been more or less stagnant since 2010, Amazon has seen sharp growth year over year in the booming online retail segment. The takeaway here is how can Target successfully expand out of the mature and saturated brick and mortar market and successfully penetrate the growing online retail segment and compete with Amazon. Now let's compare the 5-year stock price performance of Target and Amazon. We see a trend similar to the revenue trend from the previous slide when comparing stock price performance. As you can see, Target's stock price is stagnant over the 5-year period, while Amazon has seen huge increases in stock price year over year. Obviously, the casual observer can draw the conclusion that Amazon's situation is good and Target's trend is bad. But in an effort to help Target change the trajectory of the current stock price trend, analysts have to understand the business drivers. When you peel back the layers, we ask, what is preventing Target's stock price from growing like Amazon? Well, from an analyst perspective, it begins with the business model of the company, and Target's business model is designed for a mature, big box retail operation, while Amazon's business model is designed for a growing e-commerce market. In reality, Amazon is actually using Target to help generate revenue for its company. Amazon retail customers are to an extent using Target as a showroom to get to see in person the products firsthand that they want to buy, and then they return to their computers and purchase the products online. The question is, for Target, how can you reverse and combat this trend? In this slide, we will compare Target and Amazon's prior year DuPont results. The DuPont analysis method measures assets at their gross book value rather than their net book value. It tells us that return on equity is affected by 3 things: operating efficiency, which is measured by profit margin; asset use efficiency, which is measured by total asset turnover; and financial leverage, which is measured by stockholder equity. In 2013, Target actually outperformed Amazon on DuPont results. Target had a profit margin of 2.2 basis points higher than Amazon, and Target also had a return on assets and return on equity percentages over double that of Amazon. The takeaway of this analysis is that Target is actually doing a better job than Amazon of using its assets to generate earnings, and that Target is seeing higher returns on shareholders' investments. Referencing the previous stock price analysis slide, Amazon's attractiveness to investors is based on its growth opportunity in the online retail market. If Target can successfully penetrate the online retail market and gradually gain market share while continuing to outperform the competition on the DuPont metrics, Target will become a much more attractive investment.
Thank you, Will. We'll now turn it over to Emmanuel to walk us through the supply chain.
How does Target utilize its supply chain to efficiently deliver products at a competitive cost? With its large distribution center network and brick-and-mortar stores, Target's customer reach is heavily dependent on store traffic. Its online presence adds minimal impact to its total revenue. Target's supply chain is comprised of 37 distribution centers across 22 states, which employ 16,000 team members. 2/3 of the distribution centers are located east of the Mississippi River. 37 distribution centers are the supply chain backbone for its nearly 1,800 brick-and-mortar stores located across 49 states that employ over 300,000 team members. The Freedom and Unity state is the only state not to have a Target store. Vermont, what's wrong with you? So how do products get through its DC and store supply chain to its customer? It all starts with purchasing. First, it must determine product requirements: single item, 2-pack, 4-pack, and etc. Secondly, it must determine the source. Will it be a U.S. or foreign supplier? Third, it must select the vendor: Colgate, Crest, or both. Fourth, it must place an order and issue a PO. Fifth, it must monitor that PO to verify that the products are delivered when requested. Sixth, the DC must receive that product. Seventh, once the DC receives that product, it must verify that the SKU and quantity order match the PO. Once all this is complete, then payment can be issued for those products. As you can see, this is labor intensive and adds to the product's final cost. Once the manufacturer delivers the products to the DC employees must unload the goods from freight trucks, break down those palletized goods that are sent through conveyors and belts to be stored by the ASRS, or Automatic Storage and Retrieval System. While Target has an impressive automated ASRS system, the steps add labor and storage costs. Once the store sells enough products, it sends an order request to its corresponding DC to send replenishment. The ASRS system picks the products and sends down the maze of conveyor belts and rollers to a dock door. An employee must take every package and stack each one on top of the other and build levels of walls until the truck is full. Again, labor intensive, adding cost to the product's final price. The truck is received by the store team, who must unload each package by hand, utilizing a mobile roll conveyor. Some of the product is sent directly to the store floor, and some is sent to the warehouse for storage. Labor and storage costs are again additional costs for the product's final cost. Once the product is received at the stores, employees must stock the shelves and constantly maintain a clear appearance at the store. This, as you may have guessed, adds more and more labor and storage costs. Now the store has the products to sell to customers at regular prices. Yeah, right. So how does Target get customers into the store? Big sale. Did you see the ad this weekend's paper? That didn't get done? Then how about a clearance? 30% okay? No? How about 50%? Okay. You won't come in unless it's a real deal. Here's 70%. You want more of a discount? Target would rather donate it and write off the loss. So due to its size, Target unfortunately has diseconomies of scale when it comes to labor and storage costs, as well as the length of time to make the products available for purchase to its customers. Those diseconomies of scale and a lack of flexibility are weaknesses that new entrants can focus to steal new customers. Online retail, we'll use Amazon for comparison, have changed the landscape on how retail business is conducted. Amazon's customer reach is every computer, tablet, and mobile device. Its site is open 24 hours a day with 2-day delivery for Amazon Prime customers. Amazon's supply chain network is comprised of, just like Target, 37 fulfillment centers across the U.S., with a majority located east of the Mississippi River as indicated on the map. Amazon, primarily a dry goods online retailer, has recently introduced 3 locations where it will compete for fresh grocery. This move will be a direct industry threat for all the products offered by a Target store and other fresh grocery retailers. How does the Amazon supply chain work? Well, just like Target, it starts with purchasing. But unlike Target, Amazon does not purchase all the products it offers. Approximately 60% of the products offered on Amazon are a direct cost to Amazon, which means that it has the direct labor and storage costs for those products. Those are typically fast-moving SKUs, such as toiletries and daily food items such as cereal. The remaining 40% are made available to its customers by merchants or third-party retailers. The Amazon merchant can select to have its items either be merchant fulfilled, which means that the merchant keeps the product at its warehouse until sold, or FBA, which stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. This is when the merchant sends the product into an Amazon fulfillment center for storage until it is sold. The sustained competitive advantage for Amazon is that the products are available on its website for sale as soon as the Amazon and FBA products are received at its DC, or as soon as an Amazon merchant activates them on its inventory. This is a reduction in storage and labor costs for Amazon, as it avoids the cost of transportation to a brick-and-mortar store, as well as the cost of maintaining a brick-and-mortar store. In addition, FBA and merchant fulfilled products are pure profit for Amazon, as it collects storage fees for FBA products and commission fees from both FBA and third-party sellers for each item sold. All the products offered by Amazon and those offered as FBA ship from an Amazon DC and are eligible for the Amazon Prime free shipping with $35 purchase. The products that are merchant fulfilled are charged a shipping cost and shipped from the merchant's warehouse. The Amazon supply chain threats Target's industry as it is reconfiguring the supply chain process by delivering products through ease and convenience. It threats Target as it competes for buyers or customers by offering services that Target currently is unable to imitate. It threats Target in regards to suppliers as it has many sources of suppliers versus just the direct manufacturer. And it threats Target as it is a substitute source for purchasing groceries. So where does Target have a competitive advantage that it can utilize to address these threats? It has 1,800 stores across the U.S. it can leverage. If you need it now, then there's a store near you that you can walk in and purchase the product you need. In about 2 hours, one can shop for all the groceries needed. It accepts coupons and other forms of discount, which make its overall price and cost lower than online retail. It also offers customer service for questions about all the products it carries. Its weakness is that stores run out of stock, and there's nothing worse or more infuriating than walking into a store for a sale item only to find an empty shelf. It is open typically from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., which makes it difficult for those that work a 9 to 6 p.m. schedule to schedule a trip to the store. It must leverage its strengths to address convenience, availability, and free delivery, as well as inform customers of the cost and delivery weaknesses of online retail. Who holds a competitive advantage? Well, let's take a look at this popular toy from the Disney movie Frozen. It retails for $14.99 at a Target store, but Amazon sells it for $39.99. Target clearly has the advantage over cost, but Amazon has the advantage over availability and convenience, and availability being the key here. Some may say that's a special circumstance and not a fair comparison of competitive advantages. Well, let's take a look at fast-moving SKUs, such as toothpaste. It retails for $4.99 at a Target store, but Amazon sells it for $6.29. Target clearly has the competitive advantage over cost again. But once again, Amazon has the advantage over availability and convenience. What is it that Target must do to address the convenience and availability competitive advantage of online retailers? It must think differently of what product availability means to customers and implement a solution that turns the current weakness of brick-and-mortar stores into advantages. The store map clearly shows Target and perfectly imitable presence across the United States, which is an advantage over online retailers. It must consider stores as a multi-point of sale and not simply the final point of sale. It can utilize them as it does today for foot traffic and impulse buyers, but it can also refocus the stores to serve as local fulfillment centers for zip code specific online orders. It can utilize the U.S. Postal Service for next day package delivery. For example, all zip codes under the Memphis zone zip codes receive next day delivery through the U.S. Postal Service. That would be a competitive advantage for Amazon Prime's 2-day delivery. It can also offer free shipping for all orders purchased with its red card. How would the proposed My Store fulfillment work? Customers would access Target.com and enter their zip code, and then select the store near them. Once the store is selected, the customer will see a web page that shows the store's inventory available for purchase. Customers would then select their product, such as toothpaste, lotion, soap, detergent, etc., and submit and pay for the order with the Target Red Card to receive free shipping. To guarantee next day delivery, all orders must be in by a specific time, say 2 p.m. Target stores then receive the order. An employee picks the order, then packages it and gets it ready for U.S. Postal pickup. The next day, your favorite mail person delivers your package. For me, it would be Newman from Seinfeld. And you as a customer receive your products that are lower cost, available, and conveniently purchased. If there's an issue with the product, you can simply take it back to the local store and exchange it, versus having to repackage it, ship it, and wait, and redo the process all over again.
Thanks, Emmanuel. Sarah will now walk us through the pharmacy piece.
There are many advantages and disadvantages to having a retail pharmacy component in a store. One overwhelming advantage for Target is that the pharmacy is a service and a product differentiation from Amazon and other online retailers. There are increases in profit, both on the pharmacy revenue side and due to an increased customer traffic. Patients buy items while they wait on prescriptions to be filled, when they might not otherwise step foot in the store. Another advantage includes strengthened customer relationships with employees. The pharmacist serves as the face of the company. Patients trust their pharmacist and therefore have trust in the company. Disadvantages of having a retail pharmacy component include a high level of regulation from different healthcare-related organizations. Presence of personal health information within the walls of the pharmacy guarantees regulation by the Office of Civil Rights to ensure that they are compliant with the health insurance portability and accountability regulation. With the recent data breach, how do patients know that their health information is safe if their credit card information is not? The data held in a pharmacy is extremely desirable to criminals. With access to narcotics, criminals have opened doors to selling them on the black market. Insurance numbers can also be stolen and used to bill Medicare for fake tests. This personal health data can be stolen in a similar manner as the credit card breach. Target must apply lessons learned through this recent breach to its personal health data to ensure a similar situation does not occur in the future. Another disadvantage of a retail pharmacy component is the handling and dispensing of legend drugs makes Target subject to DEA regulation. There are extensive rules and regulations that Target must follow regarding shipment of legend drugs, electronic prescriptions, and the procurement and waste of narcotic drugs. Though these disadvantages are substantial, Target still reaps many benefits of having this service for its customers. There are many steps involved in prescription drugs getting to the patient. Once the drug has been manufactured, wholesalers and distributors deliver medications to pharmacies. Target, like other retail pharmacies, must choose the wholesaler and/or distributor that is best for their patients, taking into account product availability, but they also must choose the one that is the most cost-efficient for the company as a whole. The retail pharmacy is run as its own company, obtaining product at reasonable cost, advertising services and products, and dispensing product to customers. One question that needed to be asked about Target expanding its reach beyond the brick-and-mortar store led to the discussion of the mail order option. Mail-order pharmacy has been a rapidly growing form of prescription drug dispensing over the past several years. Many insurance companies require their patients fill prescriptions through mail order. It was said that mail order is a decreased cost to the patient through third-party processing. Another advantage is that patients' prescriptions are mailed directly to them. Despite the obvious convenience of mail-order pharmacy, statistics are showing that this option is not preferred by patients and may actually be detrimental to their health care. According to the Wall Street Journal MarketWatch, the percentage of customers who indicate refilling prescriptions at a brick-and-mortar pharmacy has increased to 61% in 2013. This is up from 58% 3 years ago. While mail order has a 7-point advantage in perceived cost competitiveness over brick-and-mortar in 2011, last year it is at a 20-point disadvantage in the cost factor. It has been proven that mail order actually costs more than purchasing prescriptions in store. Recent surveys suggest that patients' adherence to medication is directly related to the type of relationship and absence of relationship that they have with the pharmacist. If they are seeing their pharmacist face-to-face on a monthly or even more frequent basis, they are more likely to take their prescriptions as prescribed and receive better care through a direct relationship with their pharmacist. An incentive to fill their prescriptions at Target: customers receive 5% off a day of Target shopping when they purchase 5 or more eligible prescriptions. Since mail order is determined not to be beneficial for the customers nor the company, Target has been exploring other options. What else has Target done to separate themselves from other pharmacies? They recently joined forces with a specialty compounding company called Diplomat Specialty Pharmacy. How is this beneficial to Target? As you can see in the rates presented in this table, the projected rate of specialty drug spend is increasing every year. While only used by a small fraction of the U.S. population, specialty medications now account for roughly 25% of all pharmacy spend, and by the year of 2019 will account for more than half of all drug costs. The new partnership with Diplomat Specialty Pharmacy started in February 2013, and it provides different services along with the specialty drug products. Patient counseling on the drugs is provided by Diplomat pharmacists as support for Target pharmacists, since these drugs are not very often used and there is limited general knowledge of their use and side effect profiles. Diplomat offers solutions to barriers in patients obtaining their medication, such as inability to pay for the medications. There also is a service offered to healthcare providers called Diplomat University, where providers are offered initial and ongoing education in the field of specialty medications. No specific numbers have been published, but there is an upward trend in the use of Target's specialty pharmacy offering. This service expands Target's drug offerings by over 400 drugs, leading to increased revenue and an increased customer base for the company. Having these drugs within the four walls of the pharmacy keeps the patient's medications in one location and avoids disruption in the pharmacist-patient relationship, streamlining information regarding the patient's health and their care. Specialty pharmacy items account for a large portion of drug spend in the U.S. and is expected to further increase, which can in turn be a great source of revenue for the company. Target made a well-informed decision to tap into this portion of pharmacy services in order to expand its reach beyond their standard retail pharmacy business.
Thanks, Sarah. I'll now take us through some options that we have to fight back. In a December 2011 interview, the head of Apple retail stores stated only about 9% of U.S. retail sales are online today, and that rate is growing at only about 10% a year. So how then should Target fight back against this small but growing threat? According to a 2013 Business Insider article, 66% of smartphone owners use their phone to help them while in a store. They may use their smartphones to look for coupons or to comparison price shop. The latter is called showrooming, meaning that customers look at the products, test them out or try them on in the store, but then search online for cheaper prices. In essence, treating the store like a showroom. To counteract showrooming, some stores employ so-called punishment methods. A store may block cell phone service in the store, or the store may charge a browsing or trying on fee for clothing. Stores that employ this method will then apply the fee towards the purchase of the item. Finally, a store may require its suppliers to create custom barcodes. Using custom barcodes makes scanning a barcode and comparing online impossible. Consumer experts warn against these punishment methods, though, since the methods may alienate your customers. Imagine shopping in a store where there is no cell phone signal. How long would you stay in that store, regardless if you were trying to browse online for better prices? You wouldn't be able to make a phone call or receive any texts. In today's mobile-dependent age, consumers would cut down the time they spent in your store, if they went in at all. Fitting room fees mean a non-refundable upfront charge. Basically, you're charging your customers to shop. And the custom barcodes mean that shoppers cannot search out online reviews. Savvy shoppers who only make purchases with proven track records would refuse to buy an unknown product. The solutions to showrooming that we propose fall into four main categories: expand the online presence, establish exclusivity of your products, restyle the shopping experience, and employ cutting-edge technologies. 2012 research conducted by the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania has shown that on average, consumers who shop through a retailer's physical store and website spend twice as much as those who shop via just one channel. Therefore, you should encourage your customers to shop in both areas by cross-honoring rewards points and coupons. In a mature industry like retail, Target's opportunities are more limited. However, Target can refine current products. Target has already seen the success of the Shops at Target model, in which it purchases small storefronts and sells themed products for a short period of time. Target has also seen great success with its designer partnerships. Starting with the Michael Graves Home Collection in 1999, Target quickly expanded into fashion with its long-running Itzhak Mizrahi partnership. Target also saw fantastic success last year with its joint venture with Neiman Marcus. Both stores offered merchandise exclusively designed by style icons such as Caroline Herrera, Marc Jacob, and Diane von Furstenberg. This year, Target continues designer bridge lines with Peter Pilato. The collection earned excellent reviews in the fashion world. These collections place Target ahead of its competitors in product differentiation. Target should continue these partnerships as well as the development of its house brands, such as Mossimo in clothing and Orchard Farms in food. These partnerships establish rarity. Loyalty to these brands has expanded over the years. In June of last year, Time magazine noted that the Wall Street Journal had highlighted how store-branded food prices had been rising more quickly than the big brands. The article singled out Target's Archer Foods in particular as an example of this. In essence, Archer Foods was able to transcend the no-name connotation to the point that Target could hike prices. Reward your in-person shoppers by offering in-store only deals or customer loyalty programs. Reward them also for using their smartphones in your store. According to a 2013 study by Business Insider, 47% of women would share their location information in return for a $5 store credit. Make that a $25 in-store credit, and the percentage of women who would volunteer their location increases to 83%. In 2013, Airtight Networks reported that women are now responsible for 85% of all purchasing decisions in the United States. And recent research shows that they overwhelmingly prefer to shop in physical retail stores. So what then is the problem? The Harvard Business Review, in its article, "Retail Isn't Broken, Stores Are," said, "It's not department stores' size, or location, or physical capabilities that are their problem. It's their lack of imagination about the products they carry, their store environments, the way they engage customers, how they embrace the digital future. There's nothing wrong with the capability. There's a problem with the execution." Wharton suggests that retailers see the brick-and-mortar store in its entirety as a marketing expense. Well, how then do you improve the marketing of a store? One way to restyle the shopping experience is to create an in-store cafe. Now, Target already has existing cafes with Pizza Hut partnerships and has recently begun exploring a Starbucks partnership. However, the current layout does not encourage harried shoppers to linger over a cup of coffee. The separated cafe layout, tucked into a side of the main shopping area with both storefront windows that allow in daylight and adequate seating, is more appealing. Going forward, this should be the preferred layout that Target uses. Considering the success of Amazon's Prime membership and its 2-day delivery policy, consumers want convenience. Target's in-store pickup is a step in the right direction, but it could go further. Right now, customers order online and then have to go into the store to grab the item. Imagine the single parent with a child in the back seat. The parent has to get the child out of the car, go into the store, wait online to get the item, then lug the item and the child back to the car and load them. The Target Express model, launching this July, imagine it as a Target version of a 7-Eleven, is one approach, but it's not the answer for the suburban market. Imagine instead curbside pickup, the type pioneered by Outback Steakhouse and now even offered by McDonald's or ShopRite grocery store in the Northeast. When ordering online, you state the time you want to pick up your items, pull into the specially designated parking space, show your receipt on your mobile phone, and a customer service representative loads the items into your car. simple, convenient, and an amazing customer service offering. Especially in a mature industry like retail, emphasis on service is key to realizing superior performance, even if the products are not highly differentiated. Additional convenience is offered by in-store kiosks. Kohl's, for example, has handled this kiosk experience well. You can either search for an item at the kiosk or scan a barcode. Kohl's will then ship the item to your house for free if it is not in stock in the store. Target could take this concept a step further and offer product reviews and price comparison on items at the kiosk. Furthermore, Target can restyle the shopping experience by offering value-add services such as product experts, demonstrations, or concierge services that would include assisting with shopping lists. Target should also consider training true sales professionals, employees who know how to close sales by giving insight or additional information about a product. The American Independent Business Alliance recommends this strategy for smaller stores, but it would be effective in national retailers as well. The Alliance's philosophy on arming your salespeople with tablets is, if you know your price is competitive on an item, pull the item up from a popular online competitor right in front of the customer and explain the greater value, convenience, and peace of mind they'll receive buying from you. By simply removing a customer's fear that they may significantly overpay, this often is all you need to do to close the sale on the spot. Target is testing a new baby store concept with tablets and with sales professionals who know the concepts in Illinois, but its results have not been seen yet. In addition to tablets, there are several other technologies Target can use to its advantage. Installing a Wi-Fi network pleases the customer and also allows the retailer to employ shopper tracking. As explained by the Wall Street Journal in 2012, shopper tracking occurs when patrons access the store's Wi-Fi. The network operator keeps tabs on what users are doing, from where they're standing to what websites they're viewing. That lets retailers learn in what aisle shoppers are most likely to point their iPhone's web browser to Amazon.com, for example. Using this information, a department store may learn that many of its customers log on to Amazon.com while in the electronics department, and can move an additional store employee to that area to answer questions and help close sales. Network operators could also push coupons to a shopper that reflect what aisle that shopper is standing in. Those push coupons could tie into Target's beta version of Cartwheel. Cartwheel lets shoppers search online for their desired products, store coupons related to those products in an online file, and then scan a QR code on their phones at the checkout to process those coupons. Target can further capitalize on the QR codes by adding these codes to stores' displays so that shoppers can easily find coupons. Finally, Target can merge both in-store and online shopping histories with the big data gained from shopper tracking and applications like Cartwheel to further pinpoint its customers. Pinpointing the customers in this way would increase the switching costs for the customers. The shoppers will have grown accustomed to the personalized shopping experience at Target. These are just some of our proposals on how Target could fight back.
What are the next steps that Target should take? Target's 10K report filed in March 2014 stated that some of the identified risks are that its continued success is dependent on positive perceptions of Target, as well as the security of its customers' personal information. If those positive perceptions are eroded, or if it fails to protect customers' information, then it will negatively impact its business. Target's one-year credit monitoring offered to its affected customers was well received. It must continue on that path to demonstrate that the protection of its customers' private info is important. A way to continue on that path is to implement the EMV card, which is currently the highest form of security available for credit cards. In the financials aspect, Target outperforms its online retail competitors. It has $784 million in cash or cash equivalents available to fund a new strategy to compete with online retail. Target's financial position provided with an opportunity to implement changes that will provide a competitive advantage. It must leverage the developed distribution center and store supply chain. It must turn that weakness into an imperfectly inimitable advantage by reconfiguring its stores to serve as multi-point of sales and remove the store's dependency on foot traffic. It should strike an alliance with the U.S. Postal Service to deliver online orders next day. Pharmacy is a service differentiator from online retail that needs to develop. The pharmacist-customer relationship is one that online retail cannot compete with, and one that Target must leverage by updating the pharmacy layout or by enhancing the pharmacy experience. Make the pharmacy part of the store experience and not simply about picking up prescriptions. It already utilizes technology to enhance the brick-and-mortar experience. Its Cartwheel app, in-store text discounts, and red card discounts are ways it is utilizing technology to enhance the experience, and something online retail is unable to compete with. Restyle the stores to reflect consumer preferences, such as the Chicago Baby Expert test, and the addition of Starbucks at its stores, differentiated from not only online retail, but from the marts as well. Target faces a tough retail battle with online and brick-and-mortar competitors, but it has the tools to implement a strategy that will deliver competitive advantages.
Thank you for the opportunity to present to you on the Amazon threat to Target. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to one of us or peruse the resources which we'll display in just a moment. Thank you.